Hey, what is up guys? Steve from Cult of Mac here, back with episode 7 of iSetups. We've had about a month off or so thanks to WWDC and a lack of submissions, but they're starting to pour in again, so we're back. And this week we've got submissions from Zachary, Hicks, Gerardo, Gutierrez and Esteban Aguilar. So let's get started. First up is from Zachary Hicks, a first year medical student with his black and white themed setup. His main computer is a 2014 Mac Mini, which I'm guessing is hidden away somewhere under the desk or in one of the cupboards as I can't spot it anywhere. But it apparently has an i5 processor, 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. He uses it mainly for his medical studies, opening around 40 PowerPoint documents and PDFs at a time, as well as watching online lectures. On top of the built-in storage, Zach also has a 2TB external hard drive to store media, as well as a 1TB hard drive which he's using for Time Machine backups. He's using the Magic Trackpad 2 and Magic Keyboard 2, along with two 27-inch Acer monitors, which I'm taking a guess from the pictures are the G27 6HLs, set up beautifully, floating in the corner of the desk thanks to that dual monitor stand. For his audio, Zach's using the Logitech Z506 5.1 speakers. As he says, these serve his needs for watching lectures, playing music and so on, so he doesn't need anything big or fancy. The monitor on the left is hooked up to an Apple TV, which is mounted just behind the desk for watching Netflix. Also hidden underneath the desk, you'll find the HDMI switcher, which makes it easier to switch from the Apple TV to the Mac Mini on the left monitor. Also there you can see an iPad, which is a 128GB 9.7-inch iPad Pro, which is in a super nice and minimal stand, which he uses for taking notes and studying on the move, along with his Apple Pencil. To the left of the keyboard you can see his 128GB iPhone 7 sitting on a gold Apple iPhone dock, along with a pair of AirPods as well as a pair of Solo 3 wireless headphones. Zach says he's most proud of the cable management in his setup, as there's not a cable in sight, including underneath the desk. He's accomplished this by using TechFlex cable sleeving and command cable bundlers mounted around the back of the desk. I love how clean and organised this setup is, with everything originating from those centre screens and working outwards. Great job, Zach. Next up is Gerardo, with his super simple minimalist setup. His main computer was a 2015 MacBook Air for creating keynote presentations and editing video clips for his job, as well as, and these are his words, trolling social media and YouTube. But dreaming of a super minimal setup, Gerardo passed on his MacBook to his son and has gone down the route of an iPad Pro centric setup. For this, he chose a 12.9-inch iPad Pro along with the Zag Slimbook. He loves the fact that he can dock in his iPad to look like a laptop, or he can connect it via Bluetooth. Unfortunately, he didn't stick to this for long, as I mentioned earlier, his job requires him to make keynote presentations and edit videos, the latter of which isn't the easiest for everyone on an iPad. His solution was to set up an old Mac Mini hidden in a home-built shelf under the desk. This then connects to the iPad through Duet Display, so he doesn't have to have a second monitor on the desk. And his Slimbook keyboard can switch back and forth from the iPad and the Mac Mini. Ultimately, Gerardo now has the ultimate iPad setup. So whether he's trolling the internet, watching Netflix, or working, he only has to rely on one device, apart from when he needs more power and he can connect back to his secret Mac Mini. As I mentioned, his ultimate goal was to keep the desk super minimal, which he's achieved in leaps and bounds. With the release of iOS 11, I could see the Mac Mini being hidden back into the closet, as with the Files app it makes it a whole lot easier to keep presentations and videos organised, whether they're on the cloud or the iPad itself. Plus, with how easy iMovie is to use on the iPad, I'd really suggest to you, Gerardo, to give it another shot come September. Gerardo also has a pair of Beats X, which are my current favourite in-ear headphones. I'm still loving them 7 months on, or however long it is. The original Apple Watch and iPhone 6 Plus can also be spotted, but my standout has got to be those Stormtrooper and Darth Vader figures, tying it all together. If anything, I wouldn't add anything to the desk, as minimal is the key here, but what about some art? Finally, we've got Esteban's setup from Guatemala, with his mid-2012 MacBook Pro setup, which has a 250GB SSD and 8GB of RAM. Esteban has just graduated from high school and is now working as a graphic designer until he starts college in January. He uses his setup for everything from browsing the web and watching Netflix, to video editing, his graphic design, and the occasional bit of gaming. His MacBook is sitting in a DIY dock, which is actually just a box that he's cut out to keep his MacBook propped upright. If you're looking for an upgrade, Esteban, make sure to check out Henge docks. I've done a full review which I'll link to in the description down below. Back to his setup though, and his MacBook is hooked up to a 27-inch Samsung LCF390 HD curved display, which he recently just picked up. For his speakers, he's using the Logitech Z337 system, which actually has Bluetooth built in, making it super easy to grab his MacBook and run when he needs to take it to college. In the corner there, we can also see his headphones of choice, which are the Beats Solo 2s. For his peripherals, he's using a Logitech M505 mouse, along with a white Anker keyboard, which actually looks a little bit out of place next to the silver and black theme he's got going on here. I'd personally switch that out for something like the Logitech EasySwitch K811, which would keep with the Logitech theme, or the pricey but very Apple-esque Mateus Space Gray keyboard. Around the back of the desk he's got some LED strips that nicely highlight the desk. You know I'm a fan of these, and they really make the setup pop. Overall, it's a great setup, and if a gun was held to my head, the only things I'd change are the keyboard, and again, maybe adding some artwork onto the wall. Still keeping it clean, but adding 1 or 2 more focal points. Great setup though, Esteban. Well, that's it for this episode of iSetups, but let me know in the comments section down below which of this week's submissions was your favourite. Also, if you'd like to submit yours, all the details of how to do so are in the description just beneath this video. If you're enjoying the series, go ahead and like and share. The more people we get watching, the more submissions we'll get. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notifications one so you can stay up to date with the latest videos from Cult of Mac. I'll catch you in the next one.